All right, welcome to another episode of The American Dream. I'm your host, Craig Sewing. This is the only show of its kind that goes against the grain of that negative media. Today, believe it or not, we're focusing on travel. Part of the American Dream is to explore this planet, and we're going to show you how today. We got great stories, interviews that have been lined up between my co-hosts and myself throughout the week. We've picked the best ones to give you great information. As you know, my goal in every show is to educate, empower, and engage your American dream. Let's start the show right now. Every single day, you are consumed with information. With the 24/7 negative news cycle and a pop culture that's polluting the airways, all selling out for the ratings game. Well, guess what? There's a more positive way to look at life. You live in the greatest city in the greatest country on the planet. Every day with our elite network of professionals, our goal is to educate, empower, and engage. And now it's time to fight for your American dream. Of course, on a show called The American Dream, we celebrate the fact that we live in the greatest country on the planet. However, we also live on the greatest planet. I'm a big believer in the theory of work hard, play hard. On today's show, we're talking about traveling planet Earth. Now, sounds great in theory, but you got to make a plan for it. So on the show, we're going to be giving you advice on how to invest properly, how to work hard, how to put yourself into a position to be able to do this. Now, the greatest thing about our country is once you do it, the U.S., it's the best place to come back to. It's a country where the more you put in, the more you get out. It gives you the freedoms to travel the earth. So what do you need to do? Work hard. Make sure that throughout the year you are scheduling yourself, you're making these plans. If you want to travel in 2018, commit to it, make it a resolution. We want to help you do that. So we're going to do it on the show right now. Let's get it started. All right, today we're talking about the American dream, traveling the planet. What a fascinating topic, and we got a fascinating guest for you. This is a gentleman who was in the mortgage and real estate industry, and as the market crashed, he moved to becoming a traveling entrepreneur. What a great story. Clint Bertucci joins us on the show. What's going on, Clint?
How are you? Very nice to meet you, Craig.
Yeah, it's a great time to meet you for the first time. I understand you just got back like this morning from Thailand. Is this true?
I literally just walked in less than 8 hours ago, so if I'm looking a little rough, that's why. I was gone for well over a month.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, your tan looks good, man. I know that that's a beautiful part of the world. I've been there before. So, you got a really fascinating story that I think will appeal to a lot of people. We all experienced the market crash. You were in the mortgage business. So, like me at that time, I was as well. We were kind of in the epicenter of a global economic crash. So yes. Explain how it all shook out for you.
Started you know what the funny thing is the name of my company was American Dream Financial. And we did purchases, refinances, foreign national land loans. We did everything. And as you know, the market crashed and the programs just weren't available anymore. And I mean, we lost a lot. We lost pretty much everything. And I suffered some real bad hardships. I went through some of the most hardships I've ever had in my life. Lost my mom, just a lot of stuff hit at once that, I'm not complaining about it. It made me who I am today, but it was definitely a tough break. So at that time, I was pursuing my American dream and also providing other people with their American dream by getting them into houses. But then when the market crashed, I completely changed gears and just changed and went total different direction.
Yeah, which is a storyline for a lot of people that were in the mortgage industry at that time. I mean, there was a lot of, there's a bad rap for things like subprime loans, but when you have banks like Washington Mutual going belly up, for the mortgage banker, the professional, it makes it really challenging. A lot of the programs disappeared. So you basically went through these hardships and you decided this is an opportunity in your life to pursue your dreams. So then you become this world-renowned traveler, and you're also helping others to do this as well. Explain what you do and how people can maybe do the same.
Yeah, no, I went back to school. I went back to college because I wanted to study abroad, and I just wanted to step away and travel. I studied abroad. I went to Italy. I ended up living there for a year, worked as a student travel guide a little bit. I did a couple other things later that we could talk about at a different time. But really, I just wanted to find what my passion in life was. And the minute I was in Florence, I ended up traveling at that time. I think I was only at maybe 30 some countries, but I knew instantly that was my passion in life. And I wanted to bring that to people, to explore the world and show them the world and show them these different things, and to bring people together as a group and just enjoy everything that the world has to offer.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, our show's called The American Dream. We want to empower the mindset of just a successful way of life here in our country. And in many respects, that means being able to travel, having the freedoms to go to these other parts of the world. So what advice can you give to people who are watching all across the country on traveling? We're going into the holiday season, into 2018. What is some good advice on travel tips right now?
Travel tips are this. I would say, besides travel tips, the biggest thing going into 2018, I can guarantee you there's a large amount of people that were going to travel in 2017, but something came up. Make travel a priority. Everybody's so afraid, they get caught up in their business. You know, the mortgage industry, financing, it's such a great industry, but you're afraid if you leave for 10 days, you're going to miss a step. Oh, you might, all that you built up, you might come back and it's not where you left it. You're going to come back a more enlightened individual with more experiences, and you cannot take a trip and return the same person. You return a better person every time. I truly believe that.
Clint, that's an absolute fact. Over Thanksgiving, I was in South America, and I'm an entrepreneur myself as well, and it's very difficult to put things down. It always takes me 2 days into a trip to finally wind down. But when you come back, the level of refresh that you are, I believe makes you stronger than if you would have stayed and worked that 7-10 days anyway. So I believe in it wholeheartedly. Hey, if people want to connect with you online, traver.life, is that the best site to connect with you and learn more?
That is correct. TRAVR.life, yes.
Got it. Look, if you want to integrate travel into your 2018 plan, I think Clint makes a great point. Get it in the calendar, book it, and then just when that date comes, do it. Clint, you got a great entrepreneurial story. Thanks for coming on The American Dream and sharing it.
Craig, thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
All right. I told you, he's got an inspiring story. You should hook up with him if you're looking to travel. More of the show coming up next. All right, welcome back to The American Dream. Today we are focusing on traveling the planet as your American Dream. Joining us on the show, she is a repeat offender, Camelia, the Hackerette Britain. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Did I pronounce it correctly?
Camelia. Oh, the Hackerette,
Oh, your
yeah.
name? I got the name right. Hackerette.
Yes, Hackerette, yes.
So let's tell people what that means. So that's kind of your nickname for your travel blog.
Yeah, definitely. Basically the female version, of a life hacker. So travel hacker, anything like getting the most out of life, like squeezing every little
What
drop
is a
out of
life
life.
hacker anyway? Just being able to find
It's
good
a
discounts, things like that?
Yeah, like a life hacker or travel hacker, which one?
I don't know, you tell me.
So life hacker is just basically like, figuring out the clever
Thrifty.
ways to solve problems and whatever. So and same with travel hacking, it's a clever way to solve a travel problem. So whether that's flying, business class around the world for a fraction of the cost, or anything from rolling your clothes or negotiating on Airbnb, any kind of little hacks that save you time or money or both, then that's me. That's what I'm about.
So this is what you do for a living?
This is what I do, yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone who just needs to get away? They know they need to get away, may not have someone to go with.
Yes.
How would you encourage someone to do that?
Great question. I definitely say, go and do these meetup groups. There's so many meetups online, or there's, different apps where you can meet. I have an app called Travello, definitely even Instagram.
Heard of that, yeah.
There's so many apps you can connect with people in the community. Go to like meetups. Meetup.com is very easy to find.
Really?
And,
Okay, now when you're meeting up, are you meeting with other travelers, or are you meeting with people locally?
Either or, there's both.
Wow.
There's also, I think we talked about, the couch surfing app, whether you want to do that or not, you can still find people to meet up, other solo travelers and things. With social media these days, there's just really no end to how you can meet people, or you can just meet people the old-fashioned way. Anytime I've traveled solo, I haven't actually even needed to use social media. I've actually just gone up and talked to people, and you can feel really quickly if someone's receptive to you or not, and if they're not, just move along and don't take it personally. Just keep going and find someone else, and someone is going to be probably traveling solo as well. You kind of look for those people and then see someone you think you'd probably connect with, and just go up and say hello.
That's great advice.
And then Yeah, I've definitely found amazing friends that I now still have over doing that, and
Wow.
had great experiences I could have never had before.
On your blog, you talk about integrating travel into your lifestyle. So going into 2018, what advice would you give to people who, and talk things about like affordability, being able to just make sure you can do it. It's not always an easy thing to do, take time off work, afford it. What are some travel hacks, right?
Well, the best thing I think is making it a mindset, making it a plan, like making travel a non-negotiable in your life, just like your work and your bills and things like that. Once you take that mindset, the time and the money appear. And there's so many little apps and things that you can use to save money. You know, there's like Digit and Capital and Acorns. There's so many little apps that you can trick yourself into saving the money.
Wow.
And that creates your travel fund. And then I have built courses also that show how you can find really amazing deals or glitches in the system, or traveling to Europe for a couple $100s. And so once you use these apps to like squirrel away some money, then you find these deals, and then you have a couple $100 or whatever in the fund. So it's really just having that mindset and having that foundation can really take you where you want to go, and just making it a non-negotiable first and foremost.
Great answer. The Hackerette, thank you so much for coming on The American Dream. I hope that our audience will connect with you on your blog, learn more. You got apps, information, resources. Check Camelia out. She is awesome. More of the show coming up next. So you just watched all these national interviews, but on a show called The American Dream, of course we got to dive into the real estate market. We have handpicked the best top producing realtors in your market to give you advice out of your own backyard. Let's go see what they have to say.
Now to Nashville, where if you're looking to invest in luxury real estate, this is the woman to talk to. Ann Hoke of Ann Hoke & Associates with Keller Williams, along with husband and broker David Hoke. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cassie.
So, great focus of our conversation today, how to market luxury homes successfully. And let's start with you on this. What are luxury buyers looking for in a home these days?
Well, like most buyers, location number one, location, location, location. You've heard that all your life.
Sure.
But wealthy owners really want to have their neighbors wealthy also, if you will. They're always looking for a view, being a mountain view, an ocean view, maybe a skylight view in a city. So views are very important to a luxury home buyer also.
And you said less visual noise. What does that mean?
Yes, that's a new term. Less visual noise means that they want clean, crisp, clear, less clutter. We don't want all the heavy trim and the scrolls and all of that going on anymore. We want it very clear, very open floor plans, and it's a peaceful feeling. When you have less noise, it's very inter-peace and very calming when you go to your home.
Also, we have the technology side of things. David, I know as a marketing expert, this is where you come in. Talk to me about technology, the importance of smart everything.
Well, it is smart everything. And as you know, over time, used to be we thought about our alarm systems, the one thing at home we might be able to say we had smart technology in a home. But today, everything's moved to the app. It's the alarm, it's the camera system, it's the controls of our heat and air, it's the controls of humidity. That list just goes on and on. All of our entertainment factors, it may be shading of the blinds in the windows or tinting of windows.
Yep.
And the great thing about it, turning off and on appliances and sound systems and things, and it's the ability to do that not only from in the home, but from outside the home. And everything we look at in the homes today, the newer homes, and especially the upper end homes, what we're talking about here, luxury homes, are all steeped in technology.
Yep. And Ann, when it really comes down to how you market to luxury buyers in terms of understanding them and the feelings you're trying to evoke for them, what are some of the things you're considering?
Well, when you're marketing to any buyer, but especially to a luxury buyer, you have to know your buyer. You have to know exactly who your buyer is. Every property, every land is a little bit different, right?
Absolutely.
And once you know your buyer, then you can pick out your niche marketing, if you will. Everybody starts online.
Yep.
Although luxury buyers are really big on relationships. Relationships are really big. So a lot of times when we have a luxury property, we'll do special events or parties at the property to show them how the lifestyle flows, how everything goes through the home, correct?
Right.
And we also have a, Matterport. You want to talk a little bit about
Well,
the
there's
Matterport
two or three
that
things.
we
I
use?
was going to let you go first to the lifestyle book. But
Well, no, but that
there's a
ties into the flow of the home, right, David,
Right.
and Matterport. So go ahead.
Absolutely. So back to the technology side of things. Matterport is a 3D camera where you literally take what looks like a stationary camera and you move it every 8 to 10 feet through the home, just almost like on a grid. It would be automatic grid. You're going to take multiple pictures, and computer much smarter than I am or anybody that works with it. It pieces all those together. It gives us the walkthrough, if you will, walking through the home, but it also gives you a neat playhouse look. It's kind of like when you were a kid, you took the top off the home and you look down inside the home. So with the Matterport, you can do that. Matterport's a great way to see the home, especially an investor, an executive might be moving from out of town, or an athlete, an entertainer, too busy, doesn't have time. They can go to that Matterport interactive piece on the web. They can look at the home. They can walk through literally at their pace, room by room. And it's so good that sometimes we talk about the disadvantages of Matterport and luxuring any home because it shows the blemishes. You can't hide them because as you walk through that home so slowly, you're going to see marks on the wall, things of that nature, but you can truly see the home.
Got it. Well, you mentioned celebrities, athletes. Speaking of being famous, you have a listing that's pretty famous on the cover of Domain Magazine. How exactly did that happen?
Well, the listing on Domain Magazine, Ann is a certified luxury home marketing specialist, and it's an honor that you have to earn. It's not one of these you go just by signing up for a class. You have to achieve some things, and we began marketing through Unique Homes. It's an international website that markets for not just Keller Williams, but all brokerages across the country. So Keller Williams then has their own private magazine, Domain Homes, goes out, sent internationally as well as throughout the U.S., and we had done our ad in there this past issue for the fall issue in October. About a week later, got an email saying, we want to see a high res of one of those photos. And much as we hoped it would, they were asking actually for permission to show our home on the cover. So we're pretty excited to have a home from Middle Tennessee on the cover of Domain Magazine and to have been sent throughout the world.
Absolutely. Ann Hoke, David Hoke, you're absolute pros when it comes to what you do. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and we're sure we'll have you back on very soon here.
Great. Thanks,
Thank
Cassie.
you, Cassie.
More of the American Dream coming up right after this. Well, my next guest is a top-performing realtor and relocation specialist with Cry Like Realty, joining me today to discuss why the winter months are a great time to sell, actually, in Nashville. JC Cook, thank you for coming on the show.
Hi, Cassie. Glad to be back with you.
Yeah, so winter months, mixed opinions across the country on whether it's a good time to sell or not, but you're saying in Nashville, it's a very good time to list your property. Why is that compared to other cities?
Sure. Yes. In Nashville, we don't have the sub-zero temperatures that a lot of places across the country have. We're pretty moderate here all throughout the winter, with the exception of about 2 weeks usually that take place in February. So we don't have the people that are, snow bunnies coming in or beach bums going out. We have a pretty steady flow of people in and out with our companies here. Plus, we also have a really influx of new construction, but the second phase of new construction really isn't being completed until April, May of June in most years. So for resale purposes, if you have a house that's been on the market before, you have less competition this time of year. You're not competing with so much new construction.
I see. And as an expert realtor, what are some things that you advise your sellers? What do you recommend that they do to get their homes ready to list during the winter season?
Well, there are 3 key things I like to focus on when people are trying to sell during the winter. The first one is light. You can never have too much light. There are so many people that the first thing they want to know is how much natural light does a house get? Are the walls neutral? Every light in the house should be turned on when possible for a showing. All the blinds should be open. Make sure exteriorly that you have all the lights functioning as well. Lamp posts, lanterns on the outside of the house, floodlights, anything that could possibly brighten your house up in the drearier days of the month. There's a lot of showings that still take place now after dark because it's dark here by about 4:30 this time of year. So, people are looking all throughout different times of the day. So outside lighting is important as well.
Light and bright, point number 2.
Yeah. The second thing is scents. Be very careful. The natural assumption is that, lighting candles that are spice or evergreen pine scents are really warm and welcoming scents in the winter, but actually I've worked with quite a few clients lately that have allergies, that some of these strong scents can set them off when you go into a house. And there's also another group of people that think that candles are covering up some sort of pet smell or just a bad musty smell in general in a house. So really just be light on the scents that you have going in your house.
And the third point you mentioned was even if you're not an entertainer yourself, you want to make the home welcoming.
Exactly. So you might not be a person that really likes to set a nice table or even has that many people over, but you want to make people think that this is the type of house that you could do that in. So, when I list a house, I typically help my listers set the table. I bring chargers and pretty napkins and candles and even wine glasses over. Put a nice furry soft blanket, add some color on the couches, things that just make it look warm and cozy and even slightly romantic this time of year.
And lived in and like you have friends, which you might have, you just maybe don't have them over as much. JC, you have a great listing that I definitely want to spotlight for our viewers today. Golf course community, yeah?
Exactly. This listing is in Fairvue Plantation. It's 1626 Kelvington Boulevard. And Fairvue Plantation is an awesome neighborhood in Gallatin. It is a golf course community, and it is right by the lake. This house is not on the lake or the course, but is in the community that is. It's mainly one level living, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It was a model home. It has the most fantastic entertaining kitchen with the biggest island I've seen in any house to date. It's just an awesome corner lot, so for someone that may not want a large yard to take care of, but you're next to a common ground, so you also have some green space, it's a fantastic listing.
Yeah, it sounds like easy living with everything you need right there and being one level, just an easy home to move right into.
Absolutely.
Well, you've proven to me and to our viewers, I'm sure, watching, why you're an expert at what you do, to be able to advise your sellers on how to get their homes ready to list and get top value because of those tips you provided for us today. Thank you for coming on the program. We hope to have you back very soon.
Thank you, Cassie. Have a great December.
You too. You too. And to our viewers watching, more of the American Dream coming up right after this break. Stay with us. Well, my next guest has quickly established herself as a top producing realtor in the Nashville market. Here today to talk about the top 5 mistakes that buyers make. Michelle Froge with United Real Estate Music City. Michelle, it's great to have you back on our program.
Thanks, Cassie. I appreciate it.
So let's learn from other people's mistakes today. Mistake number 1, you say, buyers thinking that they need to see every single house in the area in their price range before making a decision.
Yeah, when I have buyers come into my office, I have them make a list of wants and needs. And then as we are going through those, we show them everything that hits their checklist. And so we have found that typically we can find the perfect home for someone in about 10 houses or less. So there's really no need to feel like they're going to miss something if they don't see everything in that neighborhood, for instance.
That's a good number, 10 or fewer, and you should be good to go there. Mistake number 2, blind faith, believing if it's meant to be, that home will still be there, listed.
Yeah, we live in the Bible Belt, and I'm all for people praying about it, that's fine. But a great saying is if you have to sleep on it, you won't sleep in it. So I think that some people can analyze a little bit too much. And if they miss out on 1 or 2 houses that would have been perfect for them, that's really all it takes for them to listen to their realtor and really believe what they're saying to them, that that house could be gone tomorrow, and you don't want to make that mistake.
Reminds me of that phrase, paralysis by analysis. Too much analyzing, you don't do anything. Mistake 3, relying too much on other people's opinion, all this other noise when they're looking at a home with you, that can influence you in the wrong direction sometimes, yeah?
Absolutely. I have been showing houses where literally a van full of people gets out of the car. It's like a clown car. And everybody has an opinion, right? And that's fine. It's okay to get input from family and friends, but sometimes you have to remember they're not the ones living in it. You are the one living in the house. It has to fit your needs, not your grandmother's needs or your next door neighbor's needs. So just something to keep in mind when you're looking at houses.
Even just when you're going shopping for yourself, for clothing or for something, if you have too many people with you, you end up maybe not getting anything because you can't decide. I find it's easier just sometimes just do it by yourself. Buying above their comfort level. You know, a lot of people do have to stretch, but this is mistake number 4. If you stretch so far that you're truly house poor and you can't have the life you like to have.
Yeah, I mean, you buy a house and you want to enjoy it. You still want to go out and go to dinner and go to the movies and have people over. Right. And you want to have something for those people to sit on in your new house. So you just really need to make sure that you've got enough expendable income as well, that you're really not sitting on lawn chairs in your home. So just be careful when you're looking at how much you can spend.
And finally here, Michelle, we have a lot of people do this. Overlooking houses for cosmetic reasons alone is mistake number 5.
Yeah, I like to use the saying, it's just paint. I mean, there's so many things that a great house with great bones can turn into if you just see the possibilities. So really kind of take your eyes off of the pretty and know that you can make it your own once you get in it if it has those things that you really, really want in a home as far as floor plan and meets your needs properly.
Yeah, and then there's a satisfaction that comes along with that too, that you put your personal touch on your home you're going to live in for a very long time. Michelle Froge, thank you so much again. There you have it, viewers, the top 5 mistakes not to make if you're looking to buy, and Michelle certainly is an expert in her area of Nashville, so feel free to reach out to her. You can reach out to us as well at www.americandreamnetwork.tv. Michelle, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you.
More of The American Dream coming up right after this.
Lawson Hardwick here with Churchill Mortgage. I'd like to shift to a very big pain point in Middle Tennessee right now. Homebuyers are struggling in this housing market. Inventory is low and competition is very high. Most homebuyers think that by getting a pre-approval, they're giving themselves a leg up in the home buying process. Quite frankly, that's not good enough anymore. Churchill Mortgage offers the Certified Homebuyer Program, which positions you almost as if you're a cash buyer. Our program makes you more attractive to home sellers and often moves your offer to the front of the line. It is the next best thing to a cash offer. Not only does this help you shop with more confidence, but it can oftentimes mean your offer being accepted more quickly. If you're searching for a home, go to churchillmortgage.com today.
Hey, I really hope you enjoyed today's show. We had a lot of fun with it. I want to remind you, we would love to hear from you. Please follow the show. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of it is at americandreamnetwork.tv. Hope to hear from you soon, and of course, we'll see you next week on another episode of The American Dream.